does have a Killer Instinct scene.
And it does make sense that Japan would come out here because the prize pool for this tournament is $30,000.
It's a lot of smackaroos.
It is a lot of money, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of...
That's actually mostly, like, a lot of it is because of the community funds and things like that have taken place. So a big shout out to anyone that purchased Kilgore or other characters that did contribute to the community fund. It definitely helps, but here we go. Base starting things off with Spinal.
Ooh, backdash early, and the punish on the overhead, but a medium breaker on the sword. And you can see Base is so proficient with Spinal, it's a little absurd.
It's science. Like I feel like if a character has broken if a player has broken a character down to its raw science, it's Base. Like almost every single move he does is calculated, and it is just amazing to see it when things go well. The Spinal has changed drastically from what you might remember, even from previously.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like throughout each season he has stayed consistent with this character and been so good. Wow, 1, 2, 3 breaker, 2 in a row. Base has broken that shadow move, so it's an important sign to send already. Like, look, I'm willing to break this. You're gonna have to counter break me.
Once again, Base landing all those Shadow Skulls, preventing Jago from building that Instinct. And Jago's Instinct is what he wants. He gets life back, and he can get quite a bit if everything goes well.
See, Base is doing some pretty short combos. He's not putting in that many opportunities to break them. So Rhett is trying to guess early. He's like, look, these combos won't last long, so I'm gonna do early guesses. What an absorb on the wind
How
kick.
did he do that so fast?
Right?
That Power Devour was quicker than, like, usually it has a startup and recovery.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sometimes you're a genius, and you just know, I guess. Picked up on the low forward, dropped the combo, actually. Overhead got interrupted. Base doing such a good job there, and the throw will take out that life bar. So Jago here is still super close to building Instinct, which is what he wants, right? He wants to get that Instinct gauge up so that he is able to
get that
build
life
it.
back.
Yeah, now he's going to be able to pop
medium
it.
breaker. Huge guess,
Oh,
though.
what a throw bait. Shadow Fireball, another one. And you see Jago's life points coming back here.
Ooh, dash forward, couldn't get the standing medium kick. Oh, that's really gonna hurt. If Base gets a lockout here, it's gonna win.
But the heavy
break from Red.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of breakers from Red so far, so I think Base got to recognize that. Brings out the big uppercut. Instinct activation. Oh, the Shadow Counter no-go. And the teleport
good
to
teleport to avoid.
And he just goes right in,
Good
runs
stuff
up
from Base.
overhead.
Run up overhead. It's been working since Season 1.
Oh, yeah.
I find it funny. I recently started picking up Jago once again because of the Ultimate, right? Because he got the new one. I'm like, man, Jago's the most fun Shoto-esque character ever. He could do so, like, I could cancel my fireballs, I can charge them up, I can build my life back. Like, he is ridiculously fun for a character, and he's the base, you know?
Yeah.
He's the middle, not the base isn't the base, but the base character.
Yeah, he is for sure like the kind of starter pack, welcome to KI character, but he's so fun, right? And he's so good. That's the best part, right? He's a great character to pick up if you're new, but also he's just a really solid all-around character too. He can charge up his fireballs, and they become massive, and they're really good on block.
These are big changes that you might not have been as familiar with from the last Killer Instinct Cup, if that was the last time you were watching, because Season 3 did bring some pretty big changes you might have seen in the early patch notes from last year. A lot of these characters play a lot different from the previous year's KI Cup.
Activation, and then you see the patience from Rhett. He didn't go right for uppercut or something crazy as Base had already committed to a back teleport. Blows out the combo, but
he's landing so many overheads.
His pressure is so powerful, Chip. Yeah, that is guaranteed right there, as you know.
Brett once again unable to convert his first life bar's Instinct into any life back, which is really rough for Jago. That's like how he conducts himself.
Right, and that's what makes Spinal so powerful, his ability to drain resources. No punish actually right there. He tried to punish the dive kick, but this season it's better. Lands a little quicker, it's a little better on block too.
It can be super demotivational when you're fighting against Spinal. Yep, right into Ultra. It can be really demotivational fighting against a Spinal because all the setups lead into more setups.
Yes.
They don't do a ton of damage, but it feels like you never get to play, and you have to find ways to get out of it.
Right.
And since there's not a lot of Spinals anymore, I wonder if most people just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, it's really tough. And you know, the scariest thing about Base is that, like, it's not just that he has setups and he is good and all that kind of stuff.
He's also in your head at the same time, and he has neutral, and it's like you don't only have to worry about setups now. There's so many levels to Killer Instinct, which is why some people can be kind of intimidated at a competitive level, because you don't have to consider the matchup, you have to consider all the other stuff that goes along with the matchup.
Yeah, there's so much to think about, so much to plan for, and that's what makes it fun, you know. Right, he got him, and this is a lockout, so he'll be able to build this up to a level 3. Damage ender, 43% for Base. And you can see the run cancel pressure. You have to spend a skull to do that, so he's using those resources. Pick up out of the air.
Brett just trying to establish a little bit of positioning, landing a forward roundhouse and goes for just a raw heavy break. Base not afraid to break that, though.
Man, this is looking so good for Base. He's very comfortable in this matchup. You can just tell that his spacing in the neutral is really good. And, you know, his grounded normals are fantastic.
Yes.
They're just so good. But Base is really just on point. He knows exactly where he needs to stand. It's his character to beat Jago's normals. All right, no breaker on the medium doubles on the counter breaker right away.
Seems like Base is just a couple seconds ahead right now in the mind games.
Yeah, and you know, he's winning in the ground game and everything too. Okay, this is held back. Overhead reset.
Overhead reset. This is going to get quite a bit of life back.
Ooh, dropped the sweep at the end, but he ran right into it, so this is going to be a little bit of extra life for Rhett here.
Can actually build even more instinct during it.
Yeah, because as you can see, Rhett got quite a bit of his health back.
35%. He needs to do that in both life bars, though, to be really successful with Jago. And Spinal is the character that can stop you from doing it.
Ooh, reset. And this might be it. He's got the Shadow cash out.
Yep,
yes.
that does it. Base takes it pretty convincing 3-0 against Rhett. And that's a matchup you haven't seen in a while, just Spinal versus Jago.
Classic match.
This is a very classic KI match.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good one. I mean, that's a matchup that's always fun to watch. There's a lot of neutral in that match. A lot of it is like walking back and forth. And I think the thing I like the most about Base is that he really knows how to utilize all the strengths of his characters. Like even the new stuff like Spinal's dive kick, like he's so good about spacing it out super far away to make it good on block. And also just like using it to whiff and move forward inch by inch by inch on the ground.
Yeah, just use it as a mobility tool and not just as much as an offensive like jumping attack. Yeah. And yeah, like we said, Spinal's one of those characters that has changed so much from the first season because he not only stole your resources, it gave them to him, and then it was like, okay, that's a little too good.
That's a little too much.
That's a little too much. And then